Tiffany Stratton just made several interesting reveals, so we'll see what that's about. We'll also check out what's new with the Usos, Zelina Vega, and more. Starting things off with everything related to Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany is no doubt WWE's youngest breakout star at the moment. She came to the main roster in 2024. She fit right in. They had solid plans for her right off the bat, the fans loved it, and it was the quickest rise to superstardom that the company has seen in quite some time for a superstar. Such a quick rise that here in year 2 of being on the main roster, it's looking like Tiffany Stratton could be walking into WrestleMania as champion for a match against Charlotte Flair. It really does not get much bigger than that, and on such a massive stage. So things are going extremely well for Tiffany Stratton right now. But during a recent interview with the Toronto Sun, Tiffany expressed her desire to lead a faction with the other rising stars in WWE. Tiffany selected Maxine Dupree and Kalani Jordan to be her 2 faction members. Tiffany said she had a strong feeling that those 3 would be very undeniable. So that's an idea that WWE and fans have to wonder about. Maxine Dupree does have the fans on her side and continues to put her all into advancing her in-ring skills. Likewise for Kalani Jordan. She's coming off an NXT Women's North American title reign, so she's established herself as well. Put both of those women behind someone that's on fire right now, such as Tiffany Stratton, and they should no doubt all elevate themselves. That wasn't the only thing Tiffany Stratton requested, though. She also recently spoke with Adrian Hernandez about her desire for a custom pink women's championship. She thinks it just fits the character and would perfectly represent what Tiffy time is all about. Tiffany's unsure that if that custom title would ever happen, but left the door open by saying never say never. Is it possible for Tiffany to get a custom title? It's a possibility for sure, but custom WWE titles have become quite rare to see in recent memory. Over the last few years, the only real custom titles that WWE had was Naomi's Light Up title and Bray Wyatt's Fiend title. Other than those 2, custom titles are really not seen that much. However, WWE has stepped up their game with custom Money in the Bank briefcases. That's something we're starting to see more and more of in recent memory. But custom titles themselves remain extremely rare. But Tiffany's putting it out there. If the company comes to her with a custom title, she wants it to be all pink for it to truly represent her character. As far as things go with Tiffany Stratton right now in the ring, she's got her hands full at the moment. She's putting the finishing touches on her feud with Nia Jax, and WWE continues to tease a showdown between Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania 41. So if they make that Tiffany and Charlotte match official for WrestleMania 41, it instantly becomes the biggest match of Tiffany's still very young career. Tiffany has faced Bayley, Becky Lynch, Nia Jax, and all these other big stars in the women's division over the last few years. But to face Charlotte Flair on the WrestleMania stage with the championship on the line in her first ever WrestleMania match, it doesn't get any bigger than that for Tiffany Stratton. So it would obviously be the biggest match of her career, and obviously she plans on coming out of it on top. So we'll have to see how that goes. Now let's get into this fun fan theory that's also a good point that the fans have recently noted. Fans are wondering if we could see a reunion between Andrade and Zelina Vega. Both of these superstars are once again back on the same brand after Zelina Vega was traded to SmackDown via the transfer window. If you saw this duo during their time together in NXT or during their first few years on the main roster, then you already know just how special they were as a pairing. They had such a great arc together. When Zelina's character met Andrade on television, he was very lazy and not locked in at all. It was Zelina who saw the potential in him and made him get serious enough to become the NXT World Champion. They eventually carried this success over to the main roster, as Andrade would go on to win the United States title. They were even competing in mixed tag team matches together and just always kept each other on top of their games. The duo came to a weird and abrupt end during the pandemic era, and then Andrade was released shortly after. In 2024, we did see a cool moment of Andrade and Zelina Vega reuniting in the ring after Andrade decided to help Rey Mysterio and the LWO. But after that WrestleMania program was over, Andrade and Zelina Vega both went their separate ways again. But now they both call SmackDown home again. And now that Zelina's all on her own, away from the LWO, fans are wondering if we could see Zelina and Andrade interact again on WWE television. Some fans expressed desires on not wanting to see them reunite again if it means that Zelina Vega just becomes a manager again. And that's very true and is a great point. It seems like WWE separated Zelina Vega from the LWO because they plan on making her shine and achieve success on her own. Zelina definitely seems like a perfect fit to be the next Women's United States Champion. She's definitely on the rise right now. So yes, you don't want to hurt that singles momentum for Zelina Vega by making her just be a manager for Andrade again. But if they can reunite and still both compete at the highest level, then maybe it could work after all. But that's something that fans are monitoring. Zelina and Andrade are both on the same brand. Will WWE look to reunite them down the line? Speaking of fan theories that are picking up momentum, let's go over some matters with the Usos. A lot has happened in the last calendar year for the Usos. At the same time last year, the brothers could not stand each other and were screwing each other in every match that they possibly could. But fast forward 1 year later, and they've all squashed their issues with each other and made up. Yet WWE is still keeping them apart and having them focus on their singles careers. You got Jey Uso, who just won the Royal Rumble and will officially be facing Gunther for the world title at WrestleMania 41, potentially in the Night 1 main event. So if Jey Uso pulls off that win, it's more than safe to say that Jey broke through and climbed to the top of the mountain as a single star and world champion. But fans are also keeping an eye on Jimmy Uso. WWE is now using Jimmy Uso all on his own. There's no Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, or anyone else with Jimmy Uso anymore. He's just all on his own, calling his own shots. And a fan theory going around right now for him is the idea of Jimmy Uso challenging for the United States title at WrestleMania 41 and winning it. So that, by the end of the weekend, Jimmy and Jey can pose together with their singles championships that they both won at WrestleMania 41. That's a big fan theory and that idea that's circulating right now. So we'll have to see if that becomes a reality. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.